there, I'm Sheryl Goodwin Magiera, your go-to guide for life's messy and magical moments. As a farm girl turned single mom, I often wondered what life would look like after my kids were grown. Turns out, it was all about rediscovering and loving myself first. On this podcast, we'll dive into topics that touch the soul, like love, loss, triumphs, and setbacks. So grab your favorite drink and buckle up. Welcome to the Imperfectly Charming Podcast. In this week's blogcast, I'm tackling the subjects around the areas in our lives that we kind of leave dormant. We have so many areas. It's not just about relationships, but health and wellness and spirituality and financial and abundance. And we often are good in one area and not so great in other areas. And we kind of leave those not so great areas hidden. We kind of push them aside because they're a little bit harder to tackle than the ones that we can do with ease and kind of automatic. So in today's story, my blog is titled Unlived Corners, and it goes like this. If you've been following my blog over the last several years, you'll know the work I've done around my personal soul excavating journey. I've consistently looked for ways to improve my quality of life. Most recently, I've committed to a focused year of creating and living my life map. Along with 31 other women, I've been busy developing the path for my present and future journey. During the year-long commitment, we were tasked with looking at all areas of our lives. It was similar to an earlier exercise I worked through and wrote about several months ago titled Future You. Although I must admit, the current work feels like it has more weight behind it since I'm accountable to 31 other souls. The work focuses on all areas of our lives, every single corner from health to lifestyle, to abundance to relationships. Life's work and mind, body, soul, and spirit was reviewed. My first draft wasn't thorough and gave me great pause. I specifically needed to evaluate all the unlived corners of my life. I almost went into a panic thinking, there's no time to waste, and if not now, when? It lit a fire in my soul. Life is passing me by, and I want to make the most of my time here on earth. I discovered relationships are where I need the most significant work. First and foremost, the bond with my own heart. Learning to love myself most has been on the top of my list. Loving myself first is the foundation for all my other relationships. Then I need to cultivate a soulmate love connection. I've set it aside for all other areas I was focusing on. It's time to let my walls down and let love in. I'm calling on courage and bravery to partner with my vulnerable heart. The real measure is not about the actual check marks, but rather how I want to feel. Those feelings will be my North Star when building and living my map. What are my non-negotiables? What will I allow and what is unacceptable? These are a few questions I'm asking myself when reviewing my map. But more importantly, how do I want to feel? I invite you to look at your life in its entirety. Are there areas you ignore and turn a blind eye to? Are you leaving your biggest dreams unattended? I know I was. I was focusing on a few areas, but there's so much more to consider. Even though there are still a few neglected areas, I'm committed to shoring them up. Where are the unlived corners of your life? Are you ready to take stock, create your new map and the feelings you want to cultivate? Ask yourself daily if you're living your map. You'll know and have the chance to course correct if needed. All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. Earl Nightingale. So that was the story that I wrote in that blog. All about living your life in its entirety, in all areas. Not just the ones that are easy, not just the ones that don't take a lot of effort. We want to make sure that we are shoring up every area in our life. And I'm here to tell you that mine aren't perfect, but I am working towards them. I am working towards the relationship with my own heart, which is undeniably the most important relationship that I have. And it needs to be my North Star. It needs to be my everything, learning to love myself first, most, and best. Because when I can do that, and when you can do that, then our lives are authentic. And we can give back to everybody else with a true heart. So I'm going to keep working on myself. I'm going to keep working on those unlived corners of my life. And I encourage you to do that. Now that we're going into a new year, it's time. Let's not waste any more of it. Let's go. If you love this episode, you won't want to miss my free workbook, 7 Simple Ways to Elevate Your Life. Head over to the imperfectlycharming.com website to snag your copy. And hey, if this podcast resonated with you, do me a favor, like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And until we meet again, shine on, friends.